The power of the Gayatri. The Gayatri will protect you from harm wherever you are traveling, working, or at home. Westerners have investigated the vibrations produced by this mantra and have found that when it is recited with the correct accent as laid down in the Vedas, the atmosphere around becomes visibly illumined. So, the effulgence of Brahma will descend on you and illumine your intellect and light your path when this mantra is chanted. Gayatri is the mother, the force that animates all life. This will serve to reduce the effects of wrong acts done by one every day. Swami said, it is like buying goods for cash instead of getting them on credit. There is no accumulation of karmic, result of action, debt, as each day's karma, action, is atoned for that day itself by reciting the Gayatri Mantra. This will serve to reduce the effects of wrong acts one does every day. Now, Swami said, if you recite this mantra 3 times in the morning and 3 times in the morning when you wake up and 3 times in the evening before you go to sleep, there is no accumulation of karmic debt, as each day's karma is atoned for that day itself. Swami in his discourse was very specific in saying 3 times in the morning when you get up and 3 times in the night before you go to sleep. This mantra also helps you with your memory. By chanting this mantra, whatever you may have forgotten while studying, while working, you can remember what you have forgotten, because that is the power of the Gayatri. Chanting of the Gayatri with devotion and at all times is advisable because these young students are the citizens and leaders of tomorrow. And Gayatri helps them to develop pure and noble thoughts. The Gayatri Mantra purifies the mind and confers devotion, detachment, and wisdom. The intellect will blossom and shine in all its splendor only after the initiation into the Gayatri Mantra. That is why it is essential that one is initiated into the Gayatri Mantra at an early age, and that will give us intelligence. Our lives is sanctified by chanting this mantra. If one chants the Gayatri Mantra wholeheartedly, one will never face difficulties or hardships in life. And if the mantra is chanted with love and devotion, various kinds of powers emerge in one desire. To one who chants the Gayatri Mantra regularly with faith, Sarva Roga Nivarani Gayatri, it is a reliever of all diseases. Sarva Dukkha Parivarini Gayatri, it wards off all misery. Sarva Vancha Phalashri Gayatri, it is the fulfiller of all desires. The Gayatri is there to protect us, to rescue us, to illuminate us. Mother Gayatri, illumine me. Sai Ram. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Sairam.
Sairam. Humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Baba, my master, my guru, and who has taken me through the journey and also showed me the power of the Gayatri Mantra. Swami used to always say, chant the Gayatri, while traveling, while bathing. That got instilled in my head. My husband and I were traveling by train to come to Puttaparthi for Seva many, many years ago. And the train was late. And when we got off the station of Dharmavaram, then we had to come from Dharmavaram to Puttaparthi. The bus that carried us and took us to Puttaparthi had already left. And we thought, now how will we reach Prashanti Nilayam? Because we had to register ourselves by a particular time if we wanted to do the seva. We then took an auto, one of those diesel autos, and it was chugging along and making a noise. And I told my husband, let's chant the Gayatri. It'll protect us. And as we started chanting the Gayatri, we don't know what happened. It felt as if the auto was an aeroplane and it moved so fast. We were wondering what was going on. And before we could realize what happened, we were at the gates of Prashanti Nilayam just 5 minutes before the registration was to take place. In those days, seeing that a Sevadal was coming, they quickly opened the gates for us and we went and registered for the Seva. The second is something that happened regarding snakes. I was in the garden and all of a sudden I heard the sound of the garden boy scream. So I went towards him in the garage and I found he had jumped on to the top of the car and he was shivering and he said, a snake has gone into the bonnet, the snake. And I said, let's open the bonnet. I had no fear. He said, don't you do that. No, don't do that. The snake, it'll bite you. So I said, okay. And not thinking of anything, I opened the door of the car, but I couldn't see any snake there. But because I had come, he got courage and I moved the car a little out of the garage and he opened the bonnet and the snake was there, absolutely, like this, and he shut the bonnet. I said, oh God, now what's going to happen? And then, because there's a slope, the car came down itself a little. And I quickly put the brakes on. And he's asking me, what am I doing? What do you think I'm doing? The snake is around. And before I could realize, the snake was in the seat of the car. So I closed the door and I told him, can you quickly run and see if you can get the snake catcher so that the snake can be taken away. as he went to look for this snake catcher man, I quietly sat on the steps near the garage. And then I see that the snake has come to the back of the car and giving me darshan from there. And I thought, oh God, now the snake is moving all around and coming to the back also. And I said, snake, you have to go away now. You must come out to go. But it was just giving me one darshan like this. And you know me, I think, okay, darshan of snake means, or maybe Om Namah Shivaya, or Vishnu, things like that. All thoughts went into my mind. Then I quietened myself and I said, let me chant the Gayatri. So I sat quietly and I started chanting the Gayatri. Unaware of time, all of a sudden I see the snake has now come out from the car and is proceeding to come towards me. And I looked again and I said loudly, Om Bhur Bhaswa Tat Savitu Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. It was also with fear at that time, no devotion. Then before I could say anything, at the gate, the snake catcher was there with a huge big stick. And the snake turned towards the stick and went on to the stick. The snake catcher took the snake away. That snake catcher has apparently a power of smell or something. The snake goes towards him. So that was my second experience of the Gayatri. There was another like that. There have been many experiences with the people who work here, the helpers. In many cases, we live in a place where from nowhere the snake will come out. So one day in our dining room, behind the cooler, I did not realize the snake was there. It was not only a snake, but it was a viper. So all of a sudden, I saw something move and come towards me, and I was sitting at the dining table. And I looked and said, now what is that? And in those days, I was not very mobile. But I said, let me see that this snake goes out. So I tried to move the snake from where it was, and I quickly went and got a stick. I opened the door, which goes out from the dining room into the garden. But the snake was coming closer to me rather than going out. Then I chanted the Gayatri. Gayatri, now protect me. Om Bhurbhasva. And I don't know what happened. With such force, I became mobile. I took the stick, picked up the snake and threw it out. And I closed the door. And I said, Gayatri, thank you so much for having protected me. Like this, there are many incidents. But I thought I will relate some of my personal incidents to you as the power of the Gayatri. The Gayatri Ma, she protects, rescues all those who chant her name with love, with devotion, or just with the feeling that you have faith. The Gayatri is with you. Some people say you must have unconditional love. Listen, She is there to protect you. Anyone who chants her name, she protects, rescues. So, may you all have beautiful experiences of the chanting of the Gayatri Mantra. Jai Sai Ram. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.